step one is just removing the box. Simple. Undo the straps and lift the box up. Then you see the crate. Okay, stop. Step two is undoing the crate. You'll need a 12mm socket. Just go around. Detach the top of the crate from the rest of the crate. You'll need to undo this bolt here, which is attached to the triple clamps. Bolts off. Now the top of the crate should lift off. Make sure you detach your spare parts kit. Otherwise the top of the crate won't come off. Top of the crate should come off now. Next thing you want to do is remove the packaging from the bike. So next thing you want to do is just take the rest of the crate apart. So this is where you need your side cutters. All you're going to do is go around and take off all of the zip ties. So one zip tie here, zip tie here on the front wheel. There's your front wheel. And then zip tie it to get your front fender out. Alright, so now you have your bike mostly free of everything. You need to get all the zip ties. So to fully detach the bike from the rest of the crate, you need to take the front axle out. All you have to do is undo this bolt here. Okay, and then lift from the front triple clamp, so make sure you don't damage the bolt while pulling it out, and pull it out from the opposite side. Alright, now your bike is detached from the crate fully, you can put it on the stand. You will have to remove the wire from the back wheel, again, just with your side cutters. And that detaches the back wheel from the crate. And now you can lift it onto the stand. So in your spare parts kit, you'll find everything else you need to put the rest of the bike together. You'll find the number board. You'll find the bolts to put the rest of the triple clamps together and your keys. You'll find your air filter. You'll find your foot pegs, your bar pad cover, some Loctite, the clamp to put your air filter onto your bike, a spoke tool, a spare throttle cable, some lock wire, a spare brake lever, a paint pen, and most importantly your manual. So first step is fully assembling your bike. You'll need these out of your spare parts kit. These will put your bolt, put your handlebars on. So you're just going to have to get your handlebars off. So first step is you can put your handlebars on. all that requires is pulling your handlebars out and around. You're going to make sure that the electric start and the lever are on this side of the bike. Your tether, everything else on this side of the bike. Lift the handlebars up onto here. Make sure you don't catch any wires. And then what you're going to do is put these clamps with Allen keys on top of the handlebars and just finger tighten them in until you can get your Allen key so they hold the handlebars on. To tighten this, you're going to need a 6mm Allen key. All you have to do is tighten them. One, two, three, four. Done. For the next part, you're going to need your 8mm. You're going to be attaching your front fender and your number board. To do this, the bolts for your front fender are underneath the triple clamp. So what you have to do is just undo them. So make sure when you pull this out not to lose the step washers on each bolt. Those are important. Those go into these 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. And that can be attached to the bike. So the next step will be attaching your number board. You have to remove these bolts. And each of these clips, when you take them out, will have to go onto the number board here to be reattached. To attach your number board, make sure these 2 holes are lined up. You're going to go in front of the brake cable, go down onto these 2 holes and push down. Now to attach the number board, you're going to have to take these spacers that you took off of here and go through here onto this, and then your bolts are going to go through those holes and into the number board. So the next step will be attaching the front wheel. Get the front wheel here. Your brake disc and caliper should match up. Make sure you remove this tab from in between the calipers. Attaching your front wheel, make sure you have put grease on your front axle. Large spacer goes to the brake side, small spacer goes to this side. And slide the brake disc into the calipers first. And it should slide into the caliper, like so. Put your large spacer in, and slide the axle in. Axle in, line the spacer up, slide it through into the actual wheel. And on the other side, make sure you put your small spacer in. And it should come out the other side. Then you put the lock nut onto this side, and you're done. To tighten the axle, you'll need a 20mm wrench and a 17mm socket. and tighten the bolt down. And you should have gotten in that other package a cotter pin which you can slide through the axle and bend up. And that's just to stop the bolt from ever coming off. Next step will be attaching your foot pegs, which were in your spare parts kit. You'll have to bend the cotter pin that's already in them and straighten it. Once you've removed the cotter pin, there'll be a washer on the bottom, do not lose it. Push this pin up and out. Then you'll have your spring. The long end of the spring, this edge here, goes towards your foot peg. Hold it in, line it up, put the foot peg in, and this pin is going to drop through the hole in the foot peg. Make sure that drops into the spring and out the bottom of the foot peg. So once you've got your pin through, take the washer, put it up, back onto there, and then you're going to slide the cotter pin back through. Okay. So once you've gotten your cotter pin back through, you just want to bend the springs up again. Just grip on and squeeze with pliers. So the last step to completing your bike build is just removing the bubble wrap from your rear brake. And your rear brake will be exposed to 8 mils. Just take them off.
Okay, sorry to take too much of time, probably this big.
And put the brake on the handlebar. Like so, and then screw the bolts back in. Top and bottom. The last thing is, with your battery, for these bikes, because they're electric start, you have to take the seat off. Seat lifts out, and your battery will be exposed. To expose the battery, there will be plastic wrap on it. Just rip the plastic off. To expose your screws that you need to attach the battery with. And the terminals for your battery. Okay. So, to remove your battery, pull this strap up, and your battery will be exposed, so you can unwrap it. Attached to the battery will be a small baggie with these parts. You're going to slide these square bits into the battery terminals. You're going to pull the battery terminals up, expose the clips, put the bolts through that, and line it up to the bolt on the inside of the battery. Now, red wire is to your red terminal, and your green and black wire goes to your black terminal. Make sure you cover your terminals with the plastic protection bits to avoid electrical shorts. Going to attach the battery clamp back on, slide it on, and then put your seat back on. And the very last step is just peeling the protective coverings off of your plastics to expose your shiny new graphics. Make sure not to pull the graphics off at the same time. And now you have your fully assembled TSK50. before running in the bike, make sure you filled it up with gas, preferred 98 octane, and check your oil through this window here to make sure you have oil in the bike. Then, to start the bike, you turn the ignition key after attaching the battery, and then push the electric start. And there's your TSK50.